Hello and welcome to Ellen Ruth Soap. I'm Ellen and today I am making a pumpkin-y harvest inspired soap using this fragrance from Nature's Garden, pumpkin apple butter. This smells so yummy and delicious. It soaps really well, and it does discolor a little. There's a little vanillin in here, but it's not a super big discoloration like a lot of pumpkin scents are. They can go like to dark brown, which is gorgeous, but it really limits on what you can do. This doesn't discolor a lot, so it's workable. So for the color swirl, what I'm going to use is my organic turmeric powder. It's along with the pumpkin puree. This is going to give it that pumpkin-y, kind of overtone along with the discoloration, just sort of help it discolor a little evenly. And then what I'll do is I will pull off just a bit of the batter and leave it unscented so that it won't discolor. Maybe put a touch of TD in there. I'm thinking about that. And so we'll do like a little swirly swirl in there. I have some pumpkin embeds that are going to go down on top and some little leftover. I have some leftover harvest embeds. We're going to use them up today. And just a little piping on top. And it's a foodie inspired. The pumpkin puree is going in there. It's just so yummy smelling. I think this would be great all year round, to be honest. I love it that much. It's a really good scent. So let me get everything pulled together and get my lye prepped and my pumpkin measured out and all of that stuff. And we will come back and make some pumpkin and apple butter soap. All right, we're back to decorate our little embeds here, and they look adorable and they don't need anything, but I just wanted to do a little something to spruce them up. And then of course, we're gonna get these all down on the top, and I might do a little bit of piping of some vines and leaves in between them. But before I do that, I have these really sweet little pumpkins, and I just wanna paint the stems on them green. So what I have here is my pine mica, which I will use for the piping also, dispersed in just a tiny little bit of isopropyl alcohol, which will evaporate off, and it makes the mica stick really well. For the leaves, I'm going to dry dust them with my crimson red wine mica, just a light dusting, a dry dust. But for these, I really want it to stick where I want it. And then the alcohol will evaporate off and just leave behind the mica. But look at that. Okay. Just kicks it up, doesn't it? So I'm just going to get these little stems painted on, and then we will dust our leaves, and then we will get together with making the actual soap. Soap additives time into all my oils and butters here. I've got my pumpkin puree that I've water discounted from my lye solution to make room for this. It's kind of like milk and oil method, only this is, fruit or vegetable puree. Is pumpkin fruit or vegetable? I think it's a fruit technically, I'm not sure. It's kind of a squash. Let me know, is it a fruit or vegetable? But anyway, the puree is in here kind of like a milk and oil method. So got that, and now of course I'm going to do my colloidal oats because I think that's wonderful and good and goes along with the foodie theme, and kale and clay. We'll get this all blended up, and then we'll come back when it's time to make this soap. And I have my fragrance off to the side because it is going to discolor like all of these wonderful foodie scents do. Pumpkin fragrances are notorious for discoloration. So I will pour off a little in this jar to have some titanium dioxide and no fragrance to do a little bit of a swirl in here. And then I have a little bit of the green prepped for my mica on top to go on with those little embeds. So anyway, let's get to it. Back with my lye solution, and there is no cane sugar in here because of the pumpkin speeds up trace and has enough natural sugars to be a great lather booster, so the sugar is not necessary. So I'm going up to emulsion, and then we'll get our colors split off, get my turmeric blended in for the most of it, and then we will add the fragrance last thing. And let me just tell you, I have the fragrance off to the side right now, and this is probably one of my favorite pumpkin scents that I've ever smelled. I'm really hoping it behaves well in the soap and sticks around. I haven't soaked with it before, but it is divine. It's one of my favorites right now out of the starting gates, so we'll see how, the end performance is. That's always the true test, All right, we've got emulsion, so let me just pour off a little for my piping. Not a lot. And then for my titanium dioxide color here. Not a lot. Most of it is going to be this color because I want the fragrance in most of it. Here is my shaker of titanium dioxide. It's water soluble, and I've talked about this in other videos. There we go. And now let's get my turmeric in here, and this will just help it kind of discolor evenly. right, it's the next day, and look how cute that is. Of course, it's going to discolor the dark part, but I'm hoping the uncolored part will stay different enough where you will see those swirls inside. I love the top. It looks like just a little pumpkin harvest up there. Smells really nice today. This pumpkin apple butter was a dream to work with. For pumpkin scents, it was a good one. It didn't really speed up trace. So let's get it out of here and see what we've got going on the inside. the lovely Olga, and I'm very anxious to get in here and see what this looks like on the inside. And again, it's going to discolor, but isn't that beautiful? That turmeric along with the pumpkin puree. It's a nice combo, I tell you what. Smells good in here too. And if I forgot to mention earlier, these little pumpkins on top are cold process pumpkins, and the leaves, so those are cold process embeds today. Look at those swirls. I'm so happy with that. Oh, this is pretty. And the tops are so cute. You're either going to get a little piece of pumpkin or some leaves up there. Yeah, this fragrance is nice. A lot of times, pumpkin-y type fragrances that have the cinnamon and the clove notes in them can really speed up a trace. And this one did not, and I love that. It was very easy to work with, smells great. It did get hot in the mold. I came down, I put it in the mold with the wood top on, and I throw my little blanket, it's just a little fleece blanket, throw it over the top, and I came and checked it a couple hours later, and it was very hot, so I removed the blanket. It didn't overheat, but it got warm, and part of that is because of the pumpkin puree. The fruit purees can really heat up a soap, but no issues, not overheating. Oh, that's cute. Actually, here, let me do this, because look at that. Ah, we're going to have some patterns in here. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I'm happy with these today. All right, let's keep cutting. All right, we'll get into the next loaf. Those tops just look so happy to me. I think these would be great year-round. I think they're fantastic. I mean, especially in fall time, harvest time. But gosh, I wouldn't shy away from these year-round. It's so nice. And these swirls, I'm really happy with that. Oh, this one got almost a full pumpkin on top. So cute. So I get a lot of questions about adding puree and water discount and all of that, and I will give you the quick version here. I've talked about it more in depth on other videos, but when you are adding a puree, you want to discount the volume of that from your lye solution. And the rule of thumb with lye, when you're working with lye, is whatever amount of soap you're making, your lye, figure out your amount of lye, and you can never go less than that for the liquid. I hope that makes sense. So I'll give you an example. If your recipe calls for 10 ounces of lye, you can never go less than 10 ounces of liquid to mix with it. So you need at least 10 ounces of water or milk or whatever you're mixing with it to go with your lye. Equal portions. I err on the side of caution. If I had 10 ounces of lye, I would do 11 ounces of water. And that's a 50-50 split. And then I will add the extra in puree or milk and oil method onto that, and that's where that extra liquid comes from. I hope that makes sense. Sounds a little convoluted. I may have confused some of you even further, but just know that when you are mixing sodium hydroxide with water, you need at least as much liquid as you do sodium hydroxide. Never go below that amount and you'll be okay. Look at those swirls. Ah! All right, let's keep cutting. Okay, last loaf. Oh, these are just making me happy. So cute and fall inspired. I've also gotten asked about additives and if that's part of your total volume when you're figuring out your fragrance oils and things like that. No, they're not. When you figure out a fragrance oil, that's based on the actual ingredients, which is the oils and the lye and the water and all of that. Additives are extra, so they actually don't factor into your percentages if you're doing that sort of thing. I hope this is making sense. I feel like I'm making things more confusing instead of better here. Maybe I'll stop talking about that now and just do a video on additives and water discount and all that. I should do that in the future. But for today, let's just enjoy these adorable pumpkin bars. And thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you liked the video today, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Check me out over on Instagram. If you are an Instagram person, I'm over there also. And I hope you have a wonderful day.